This video deals with my personal experiences in psychomotor development and movement. I'm going to talk about my past experiences and feelings as a child, as well as my experience in this subject related to some practical sessions and the visits to Anderson School. I have a problem, which is that I like to practice a sport, but I hate to compete. So I like practicing a sport in a friendly way for having fun. My parents made me join in tennis, but I didn't like it and I gave it up. I also tried to play basketball in a summer camp, but instead of playing, I prefer to stay with the youngest children. What I like to do was dancing, so I used to dance until I was in second of secondary. And then on second of A levels, I did a kind of contemporary dance course. I suppose that the fact of negation in playing a sport was something related to the lack of self-esteem, because the feeling was that as I couldn't be able to do it good and to win, I didn't want to do it. Dancing made me be aware of my body, besides of helping me in terms of balance, flexibility and muscular tone. Factors that have been so common in this subject in both theoretical classes and in some practical sessions too. Like, for example, the one in which we work muscular tone and force with peers. At school, I didn't have a good experience in secondary education because the teacher was always evaluating and forcing us to do the things. Instead of motivating us to try to do the activities, he imposed them. And when I or some other classmates tried something without doing well, the pressure of him and the rest of classmates watching you and observing you made us feel uncomfortable. This teacher also made us to be competitive when playing sports. That's why people like me felt a little bit frustrated in the classes. Opposed to this, the teacher I had in A levels cheered us in a very positive way. She made me feel so well, and she made me have a little bit of confidence in myself. She never imposed anything, and however, I was able to try to do things that during secondary I couldn't or I didn't want to try. I developed more my body and my movements in 1 year in A levels than 4 years with that secondary teacher. At Anderson School, a psychomotor circuit is prepared for children in which they can work different parts of the body and develop different abilities. However, after that they have free play with some material prepared and they know it, so they do the circuit without any problem and they are happy and funny of doing it. But they really like to play free. So here the activities are proposed, what means that children have some guides, and after this, when they are playing with freedom, if they don't know what to do or they don't feel secure, they can explore these guides and go farther slowly. They all are doing different things in the free play, but they all are developing, exploring and playing with their body in a funny way, and that is a good way of working, I think. In the practical sessions of this subject, I could reflect about the teacher's attitude in front of the children in terms of psychomotricity and movement. It is so important because it influences on the children, and this influence is different in each child. In the activity of levels that we did in a practical session, we could see that every way of treating children has effects on each child, and perhaps the same attitude has a different reaction in each one. So we have to respect everybody without forcing any child to do something. We have to cheer them to try, but if we impose to do something, the reaction will be worse.